welcome to today's video tutorial. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to install this script, Shortzz, directly from this amazing website called canyon.net. So the way you're going to navigate into this site is by just going to your preferred browser and searching for code canyon.net, just the way it is here. And you're going to see a pop-up of this website just the way it is. So you want to go ahead to search for your preferred script. So you can just search anything relating to Flutter. Okay, so once that is done, your screen is going to pop up just the way it is. So for this video, we're going to be looking at Shortzz. So this is a TikTok clone, the short video application for live streaming and all that. So one of the first things I would suggest you do is to read through this documentation. There's some documentations down here, so you want to go ahead to read through it. These are the screenshots of how the application looks like. It has multiple languages integrated into it, so you want to go ahead and read all of this. This is what is included. So this app is a Flutter app. It has a Flutter source code. It has a backend written with Laravel and the database file to SQL. And yeah, there's a documentation to set up and configure the project directly. So you want to go ahead to look at all this, and once you're sure about this application and suit what you need, which obviously is going to do, you go ahead to add to cart. This is the button where you click. Okay, so this item is added to your cart. So this is a $149 script. So you want to go ahead to confirm all of these and then go ahead to checkout. So going to checkout, you're going to be redirected to a page where you add your payment credentials and all those details that are required in order to make payments. That is if you're just joining or starting to use code Canyon for the first time. So once you're done with that, so I'm not going to go ahead to go through this route because we've already purchased this script and we can't do that the second time. So it's just a straightforward process. If you just go ahead, follow the prompt, you're good to go. So now that we have that out of the way, the next thing we need to do now is get the tool. So we've gotten to purchase our scripts and we have our TikTok clone application in our file explorer. We downloaded. So the next thing you want to do is to get tools that you need to run Flutter in your local machine. So these tools are three. I'm going to be showing you how to get 3 tools in order to get you started. So the first is going to be Flutter SDK, which is very necessary. The second is going to be the IDEs. So I'm going to be showing you how to install 2 different IDEs: Android Studio, which every mobile developer should have, and Visual Studio Code. So let's get right into it. Okay, so this is Flutter's official documentation, and the way you're going to get into this place is by just typing your preferred browser, docs.flutter.dev/get-started./install. Alright, so this is going to take you right into the screen where you see, this is official Flutter docs. So this is a setup on how to install and download Flutter into your local machine. So the first thing you want to go ahead to do is to choose your deployment platform, while bearing in mind that you can learn a lot more about Flutter in this documentation. Beyond just installing Flutter, there are some other things that you need to just go ahead to read up and understand properly. So for our platform, I'm going to be using Windows because I'm using Windows at the moment. So choose your first type of application. So our TikTok clone is an Android application, so I want to go ahead to click on Android. This is going to help in configuration as well, just so you know. And the next thing you want to do is to start building Flutter with Android or Windows, which will require you to verify your system requirements. Now, a lot of people have this challenge because their system does not meet requirements in order to start running Flutter. So what you want to go ahead to do is to read through this and ensure that your system has met these requirements. So there are 2: the hardware requirement as well as the software requirement. Where is it? Yeah, software requirement. And then you check for your operating system, and then once you confirm that everything is all right and you have up to date with the requirement, you can now go into the next option here, which says install the Flutter SDK. So down here So this is what it's saying. There are two different methods. There are two different options. So using VS Code and downloading it yourself. Alright, so here we're not going to be looking at this. Alright, so we want to look at this, download and install. So it says to install Flutter SDK, you can use the VS Code extension or download and install the Flutter yourself. So this is the one we're going to be using. Alright, so what happens here is you're going to download this bundle. It's Flutter stable version at the moment, 3.29.3. So what you're going to do is to click on this button, and once you click on it, your installation is your download is going to begin automatically. Now for other release channels, you can check the archive. Alright, so yeah, initially your download is going to be here. If that's how your system set it, it's supposed to be inside your downloads. You just want to go ahead and take note of this part. Now what you're going to do is to create a new folder where you want to extract Flutter into that new folder. Alright, so what it's here is to consider creating a new directory. Alright, so you can call it anything. You can call it development, you can call it dev, you can call it Flutter development, whatever you want to call it, but make sure the name is unique. Alright, so you want to extract the file into this new directory. Now ensure that this directory is inside the C, now so that it can be accessed anywhere in your local machine, right? So just the way it is. So for example, so you go into your C folder, and then inside your program files you can just create a new folder, you call it dev, just the way it is here. All right, so yeah, so this is a typical example of it. So user profile downloads Flutter SDK, you're extracting this Flutter inside this stable version inside your dev. That's how it works. So once you're done with that and everything is all right, you want to go ahead to update your Windows part. By updating your Windows part, it means you want to go to your environment variables and look for path. All right, so this is going to be look for the path entry, right, on the environment variables, and then you want to go back to your Flutter SDK. We have this new one, and get the bin. Alright, so navigate into the bin, copy the bin path, and then that's where you're going to click, and then you're putting it inside your path variable, inside your environment variable. So this is a typical example of it. Alright, so once that is done, you just want to go ahead to click on OK, as many as possible that is showing as a pop-up, and then you're good to go. So yeah, configure your Android development. This is now the part where we go into IDEs. So the next thing we're going to do is to download our Android Studio and Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is Android Studio's official website. So what you want to go ahead to do is to type on your search bar developer.android.com/studio. It's going to take you to this website where you see Android Studio things. Alright, so here you can see your download, your IDE guides, Gemini, Android Studio, a lot of things. So you want to go ahead to read through what you have here. What are the features of Android Studio? These are the core features. Just go ahead to read all of this to get your hands ready to use Android Studio and for better understanding, right? So once you're done with that, you want to go ahead to click on this download button. So this download button is going to bring a pop-up where you read the terms and conditions. Very important. So go through the terms and conditions and read through them thoroughly. Once you're done with that, down here you're going to see this checkbox that shows that you've read and agreed to this above terms and conditions. And once that is done, you can go ahead to see this button visible, and you just click on it and begin your download. That's how to get Android Studio downloaded. So what you want to do now is to go to the .exe file, double click on it on your system, and follow the prompt that comes up the way it is. Just follow it and you get Android Studio installed. So the final thing we want to get is Visual Studio. So most developers like Android Studio for their development. Most developers like Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is Visual Studio Code. You can just go through code.visualstudio.com/download, and once you're there, you you want to go ahead and select any of these options. So we're using Windows as usual. I'm going to be selecting this option. Alright, so what happens is I'm going to click on this and your download is going to begin. So you basically don't really need any other thing, right, from Visual Studio. You just have to double click on it and the software is going to open and you can now start writing your code. Yeah, that's all about Visual Studio. Alright, now that we have that, what we want to go ahead to do is to find our Flutter script that we purchased. So for my case, this is how it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. This is the location of my Flutter script, okay? So I have all of these in the documentations as well. So I'm gonna go ahead to open my preferred IDE. So for my case, I'm gonna be using Android Studio. You can go ahead and use Visual Studio or any other IDE you want to use. So once you open your IDE for the first time, you want to search for the product. Okay, so what you want to go ahead to do is to go to open, right, and it's going to show you something that looks like your file explorer, and you want to go ahead to find or locate that Flutter script that you purchased. And once you do that, then it's going to open just the way it is. Alright, so once that is done, I'm going to close all of this. It's not really required. I'm going to open my terminal. So you need to get a couple of commands, right? So you just first of all, you just going to clean this project. You want to clean this project. Once the cleaning is successful, you're going to just delete some plugins, dependencies, in the Flutter application, and you just want to pop get this. So I'm going to say Flutter pop get. Sorry, my this thing is just so long, that's why. So Flutter pop get, rebuilding this dependencies, installing them all over again, and making sure everything is up to date,